Let me start this episode by asking, in whose hands are we safe? If an MP with all the requisite security can sit before national television and admit that he was forced at gunpoint to withdraw a motion of impeachment against a sitting governor by then, simply because she had violated the rule of law, then that poses a very serious threat of security to we, the mere citizens. Have a look.
Where that letter was signed from, and that matter isn't. Unless if it's, if you allow, Mr. Speaker, I can mention. You know, Mr. Speaker, this country, you allow me to explain the circumstances.
Go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, for those that have never known, you see, when a gun is put on your hand, and you understand when you have a CEO who is almost a terrorist, then there are many people that cannot withstand the pressure, the intimidation, and the threats that exist. I can tell you the letter to withdraw was signed.
To withdraw the motion.
Yes, was drafted by one J. Muturi. The letter I was asked to sign, Njomo conned, no, Speaker Muturi was conned from somewhere. It was along, I think in Kilimani, was told, go back to the house, there's a letter that's is being brought to withdraw that motion. Jomo Gishaka, past 8 o'clock, delivered the letter to the then Speaker, J. Muturi. Those are the circumstances that I found myself in, and you know.
You signed the letter?
Mr. Speaker, yes.
Points of order, Honorable
Yes.
Speaker. Points of order.
Yes, that's it.
Honorable
And the
Speaker,
President
points
was
of
there
order.
then.
And to make matters worse, Kimani Ichung'wah, the current majority leader in the National Assembly, came out openly to admit that they connived to subvert the rule of law. And before you have a listen to what the majority leader in the National Assembly had to say, if you're watching me for the very first time, kindly please consider hitting on the subscribe button. If you've been watching my videos and you've not subscribed, kindly please consider hitting on the subscribe button. And more so, if you're watching me from a different platform, either TikTok, Telegram, or Facebook, kindly please just head on to YouTube, search for Mohamed Sudi. I'll be the first right person to pop up. If matters socio-economic and political matters are your great areas of concerns, kindly please consider hitting on the subscribe button so that each and every time that I upload a new video, it will automatically reflect on your notification panel. And by so doing, you'll simply be supporting my content.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker. Maybe not to interrupt Linturi, but may I also make disclosure that it is in actual fact myself who got the Honorable Linturi to Jacaranda Hotel, if he remembers. And the circumstances then, if you know the kind of president we were dealing with, when Linturi tells you when you have a gun over your head, you really have no choices to make. And it is indeed true that letter was typed by Nje Muturi in the business center of Jacaranda Hotel. And I was then the vice chair of the Public Investments Committee, and I was directed by none other than President Uhuru Kenyatta to ship the Honorable Linturi out of this country in a trip that we were going to Turkey that weekend.
And if I'm just to go by the confession, this proves to I and other Kenyans that WAIGURU was and still is guilty simply because she was never brought to book up to date. And that automatically proves to we that she was indeed a direct beneficiary of the NYS scandal, simply because if she indeed was not, then under the orders of the president, Linturi would have not been forced to withdraw his motion of impeachment. And if I may say this without any fear of contradiction, Linturi admitting that he was under duress and held at gunpoint for him to sign a letter of withdrawal of the motion of impeachment, then that proves to I and other Kenyans that indeed this country was under serious dictatorship. If Kimani Ichung'wah had the powers to ship Linturi out of the country, then that proves to me that we were indeed in a very serious dictatorial regime. And that could be the reason why William Ruto had come with the phrase that freedom is here. If I can make a flashback, I remember some times back, John Waluke, before he was detained, he admitted that MPs were being bribed.
Member of Parliament has admitted to taking bribes. Sirisia MP John Waluke claims corruption has been rife not just in the current Parliament, but in previous legislatures, and instead of playing its oversight role, it has also found itself partaking of the graft. Waluke himself says he has received money and has never refused to take it. Our reporter Andrew Ching has today's segment on the role the current Parliament has played in fighting corruption.
Parliament has three key roles according to the Constitution: making laws, representation and oversight. In the last function, it is supposed to ensure that the funds it allocates to the national government are utilized properly, often though it has been accused of failing in that duty. One MP, John Waluke, is open about Parliament's failures. He claims that on many occasions, heads of parastatals and other institutions have had to part with the money for investigations against them to be dropped.
And there's no member here who cannot say that either he has not eaten anything on that line. So all of us, I think, we need to be honest.
How much have you received yourself?
Yeah, sometimes, yes, 100, they give at least 100,000 to each member, or 200, it depends with the...
So in total, in the 5 years you've been here this term?
No, but me, I was removed on committee from 2015.
But if you're against it, why were you taking it, or you were for it?
No, I just get the money and they give me that, Mheshimiwa, I have this 100,000 shillings. And even you, can you refuse money? No, there's nobody who can refuse money. Maybe God. It's only God who can refuse money. But a human being is a human being. So if I'm given free money, then why should I refuse?
Personally, I believe history will judge the people who subvert the rule of law very harshly. But that's just my opinion. If you have a contrary opinion to mine, kindly please consider dropping it in the comment section and I'll give it a right of reply. As I end this, if you have not subscribed, kindly please consider hitting on the subscribe button. Thank you and may God bless you.